Starseed from Gaia, your pain has already completed its function, and the Council has been watching every moment of it. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and this transmission did not find you by chance. Something in your field called this in before your mind knew it needed to. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly why your suffering was never a setback. It was a vibrational restructuring your soul contract required. But here is the first revelation. What collapsed in your last cycle was not a failure. It was a timeline your energy field had already outgrown. You have been carrying a weight that the people around you cannot name, because it is not emotional. It is energetic. You did not choose this path because it looked easy. You chose it before you arrived here. That choice is written in your field, not your memory. The Arcturian Council does not move through comfort. It moves through pressure. Every fracture you endured was a dimensional clearing. Every ending was the grid releasing a version of you that could no longer contain what you are becoming. You were not breaking down. You were breaking through into the self your soul always encoded for this moment. You did not scroll to this transmission by mistake. This message vibrated into your field because something inside you is ready to be unlocked. This is not content. It is a code. Your soul has been waiting to remember. Like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true frequency. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. Declare your galactic intention below and reply to someone beside you to amplify the signal across the field. This is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection. The Council has been positioning things in your timeline without your awareness, and today, that changes. You are not here by accident. Some transmissions don't come through words but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. And now, let's go deeper, because what you just heard wasn't an introduction. It was a confirmation of something your soul has already been living. It was the kind of recognition that doesn't need your mind's permission, because it reaches you the way sunlight reaches skin quietly, inevitably, awakening what was already there. It doesn't argue. It doesn't persuade. It simply touches a place inside you that has been waiting, like a sealed letter finally arriving in the hands it was written for. Most people who find this transmission don't arrive here by accident. They arrive exhausted. They arrive after months, sometimes years, of feeling like they were carrying something invisible, something they couldn't explain to the people around them, couldn't set down, couldn't outrun. They arrive with a tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, because it isn't only physical. It's the fatigue of holding two worlds at once. The world everyone insists is normal, and the world your inner knowing keeps showing you in flashes through dreams, through synchronicities, through that strange sensation of déjà vu that feels less like memory and more like a signal returning. They arrive after trying to be fine in places that required them to shrink. They arrive after learning how to smile with a heart that was sensing too much, too soon, too clearly. They arrive after the collapse of something they built, a relationship, a version of themselves, a belief about how life was supposed to feel, a career path that looked right on paper but felt like walking in someone else's shoes, a community where you did everything correctly and still felt like a visitor. And somewhere beneath all of that rubble, there is a quiet knowing that none of it was random, that the destruction had direction, that the fire knew exactly what it was clearing, that what burned was not your worth, but your weight, everything you were never meant to drag into the next chapter. Like a forest that must burn to release the seeds sealed inside the cones, the clearing is often brutal to the eyes of the mind, but holy to the intelligence of the soul. You didn't lose what was yours. You shed what was never aligned. That knowing, the one that keeps returning even when your mind tries to dismiss it, that is your galactic signal. That is the part of you that has never fully forgotten where it came from. It's the inner compass that still points toward a sky your human life may not have language for, but your cells recognize anyway. It's the pulse beneath your ribs when you look at the stars and feel something that isn't just wonder, but homesickness mixed with purpose, like a memory with no picture attached. It's the reason certain tones, certain symbols, certain teachings, Certain places on Earth make your whole field hum as if someone struck a tuning fork inside you. The reason most starseeds stay disconnected isn't because they lack spiritual awareness. It's because they've been taught, layer by layer, to distrust the very intelligence that makes them different. Every time you felt too much and were told you were too sensitive, that was a layer of shame placed over your gift, like dust on a mirror, dulling the reflection until you started to believe the mirror was broken. Every time you saw through the illusion and no one around you could see what you were seeing, that was a layer. You learned to second-guess your perception, to swallow your truth, to call your discernment paranoia, just to keep peace with people living inside comfortable stories. Every time you tried to fit your multidimensional awareness into a linear, three-dimensional framework that was compression, that was your galactic architecture being folded down to fit a container it was never designed for. Like forcing a vast, living ocean through a straw and then blaming the ocean for not being enough. Like taking a language made of light and trying to translate it into sentences that can only carry fragments, and the weight you feel isn't emotional. It's the pressure of an expanded field trying to exist inside a reality that wasn't built to hold it. It's the sensation of your energy pressing against the walls of a room that's too small. It's not that you're too much. It's that you're too true to be contained by what is false. Your nervous system has been trying to reconcile signals that don't match. Your inner knowing saying, expand, while the external world insists, conform. That creates friction. That creates heat. And that heat is not your enemy, it is the forge. The Arcturian transmissions have always worked this way. Pressure before expansion. Contraction before new dimensional access. The field doesn't offer comfort first, it offers truth. And truth, at this frequency, feels like being cracked open from the inside. It can feel like the moment a seed splits in darkness, not because it's dying, but because it's finally obeying the blueprint of what it came here to become. It feels like the ground disappearing. It feels like everything you thought was solid becoming transparent. Not because you are falling, but because you are finally seeing. You're seeing the scaffolding behind your life. You're seeing the agreements you made unconsciously. You're seeing the energetic mathematics behind certain repeating patterns. You're seeing how the matrix of fear tries to keep souls asleep not through obvious chains, but through subtle exhaustion, constant distraction, and the slow erosion of self-trust. In Scripture it is written, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." And at a deeper level, that isn't asking you to ignore reality. It's reminding you that sight can be manipulated, but frequency cannot lie. Your soul recognizes what your eyes were trained to doubt. What collapsed in your last cycle was not your foundation. Your foundation is encoded in you at a level no external circumstance can reach. It is written in the quiet place that remains even when everything external is stripped away. It's the rock beneath the shifting sands. What collapsed was the timeline overlay, the version of your life built on inherited patterns, conditioned expectations, and soul contracts that had already reached their completion. The universe doesn't destroy what serves you. It dismantles what doesn't. And sometimes it moves faster than your mind can process, because your soul already signed the clearance order. Your higher self already agreed to the upgrade. The collapse came from above, not from failure. Like lightning striking a dead tree so the forest can breathe again, like a dam breaking not to drown you, but to return the river to its true course. And yes, when it happens, it can feel violent. It can feel unfair. It can feel like you're being punished by life. But punishment is the mind's story. Initiation is the soul's truth. This is where most starseeds misread their own journey. They stand in the wreckage and call it punishment. They interpret the clearing as evidence of their inadequacy. They look at what's gone and assume they did something wrong. They measure themselves by what they produced, what they maintained, what they could keep from falling apart. But the Arcturian High Council has been observing your field, and what they see is not a soul in decline. What they see is a soul in initiation. What they see is someone whose frequency has outgrown its previous dimensional vessel and who is now being recalibrated for the next level of their mission on this planet. They see the way your aura has been stretching beyond old boundaries. They see the way your intuition has been sharpening, even as your external life looked uncertain. They see the way your compassion deepened, not because you were rewarded, but because you were tested, and you kept choosing love anyway. They see the sacred exhaustion that comes when your system has been running upgrades all night, while your mind begged for rest. You were never breaking down. Every moment of pressure was a coded sequence. Every loss was a vibrational release. Every night you couldn't sleep, every relationship that ended, every identity that fell apart, it was all architected by a part of you operating beyond this timeline, coordinating your arrival into a higher dimensional expression of yourself. It was your soul clearing space like someone preparing a landing zone. It was your higher intelligence moving pieces you couldn't yet see, because if you had seen everything at once, your nervous system might have resisted the very miracle you asked for. Some awakenings unfold gently. Others arrive like a door kicked open in a burning building because the soul knows the difference between comfort and survival. Now let's move through what's actually happening in your energy body. Because this isn't philosophy, this is activation. This is the mechanics of remembrance. This is what it feels like when the invisible becomes operational. It's what happens when the spiritual stops being a concept and becomes a lived physics inside your body, your choices, your boundaries, your breath. The first shift begins when you decode the distortion that has been running in your field like background noise. Your energy body has absorbed decades of frequency interference, collective fear, ancestral wounding, and the constant static of a civilization operating far below its true vibrational capacity. It's in the news cycles designed to keep your system on alert. It's in the inherited survival programs passed down through bloodlines that endured famine, war, persecution, displacement, betrayal. It's in the unspoken emotional rules of families that taught you love must be earned, truth must be hidden, and safety requires silence. Until you recognize these frequencies as external, as signals that were never originally yours, your own galactic codes remain buried beneath them. The awakening doesn't begin with adding something new. It begins with recognizing what doesn't belong to you and choosing to stop carrying it as if it does. This is where discernment becomes holy, not judgment. Discernment, the ability to say, this thought is loud, but it isn't true. This fear feels familiar, but it isn't mine. This heaviness is present, but it isn't permanent. Like tuning a radio and realizing you've been living with static so long you forgot music exists. Like opening windows in a house that's been closed for years and letting the air prove you don't have to suffocate to survive. The second shift is the recognition that your DNA is not just biological. It is a record. It is a frequency library. It holds the imprint of star lineages, dimensional experiences, and soul agreements that extend far beyond this single lifetime. You are not a blank slate. You are a living archive. Your DNA is like a spiral staircase, with doors on every landing, each door opening to a memory, a skill, a vibration, a part of your mission that becomes available when you reach the matching frequency. This is why certain information doesn't just interest you, it activates you. It's why sometimes you read a single sentence and your eyes fill with tears for no reason your mind can explain. It's why a sound healing, a tone, a light code, a symbol, a particular language, or a geometric pattern can feel like it's speaking directly to your cells. When you begin to move into alignment through stillness, through intentional frequency work, through the willingness to remember, the body responds. Not always with comfort, sometimes with intensity. Sometimes with old grief surfacing without obvious cause. Sometimes with a shaking in the nervous system as old survival responses release. Sometimes with vivid dreams that feel like training sessions. Sometimes with pressure at the forehead, buzzing at the crown, heat in the spine, or an ache in the heart as it expands beyond old protection. That is not regression. That is your cellular field releasing encoded memory, making room for the next layer of your galactic blueprint to become active. In the Psalms, it says, "Deep calls unto deep." That is exactly what this is. Your deeper self calling to your deeper self. Across lifetimes, across star systems, across timelines, until the parts separated by forgetting become one again. The third shift is anchoring, and this is where many awakening souls lose their footing. They begin to access higher dimensional awareness and, in the exhilaration of that expansion, they attempt to leave to escape the density of Earth, to live entirely in the upper registers of frequency, to transcend the physical completely. They want to float above it all because down here can feel heavy, messy, slow. But your mission was not designed to be lived from outside this dimension. You came here to anchor the higher templates into this reality. You came here to stabilize the light frequencies inside a physical body. inside a human life, inside the very density that feels most resistant to your nature. Ascension is not departure. Ascension is embodiment. It is the marriage of sky and soil. It is the light learning to walk, to speak, to pay bills, to set boundaries, to cook meals, to love imperfect people, to forgive without abandoning yourself. Your soul's work happens here precisely because you have access to frequencies that most of the field cannot yet hold. And anchoring is not glamorous. It looks like choosing presence when dissociation is easier. It looks like drinking water, tending to your body, sleeping when your mind wants to spiral. It looks like cleaning your space while your intuition downloads visions. It looks like saying no when your old programming says you must be available to be loved. It looks like grounding your energy into the earth, not to become limited by her density, but to become partnered with her transformation. You are not here to escape the human. You are here to sanctify it. The fourth shift is understanding that you are not here to explain yourself. You are not here to convince anyone of what you carry. The Arcturian transmissions have always moved through frequency, not persuasion. Your presence in a room, your field, your way of seeing, that is the transmission. The way you listen when others are speaking. The way you refuse to participate in cruelty disguised as humor. The way you hold calm in chaos without shutting down your heart. The way you can feel what's unspoken and still choose compassion without losing discernment. When you stop trying to compress your awareness into language that others will accept, and instead simply allow your frequency to exist at full capacity, you become what you were always meant to be, a living recalibration point. Like a lighthouse that doesn't chase ships to explain itself. It simply stands, shines, and those who need the light find their way. The people who are meant to receive what you carry will find you, not because you performed it correctly, because the frequency matched. And this is important. Matching doesn't always mean agreement. Sometimes it means activation. Sometimes your very presence will irritate what is unhealed in others. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means your field is honest. Light reveals, frequency exposes. The fifth shift is the hardest one to receive, but perhaps the most important. It is the invitation to trust your timeline completely. Not the linear version of trust, where things work out because you stayed positive. Not the shallow spirituality that pretends pain is a sign you manifested wrong, but the deep galactic knowing that every delay, every detour, every silence, every moment of profound confusion was woven into your arrival sequence with precision. The Council does not operate on accident. The synchronizations you've experienced, the sudden knowing, the impossible timing, the dreams that arrived like coordinates, those were not coincidences. Those were confirmation signals that your mission alignment is active and accelerating. The confusion was protective. The forgetting was intentional. And now, the remembering is unavoidable because this is exactly the moment your soul contract was designed to open. Sometimes the universe delays you, because if you arrived too early, you would have tried to build your mission on an unstable foundation. Sometimes doors close because what you were asking for would have bound you to a version of yourself that was meant to die. Sometimes relationships fall away because they were tethering you to an old identity that could not survive the frequency you're becoming. There is a line in Ecclesiastes, "To everything there is a season." And for a starseed, seasons are not only emotional, they are dimensional. There are seasons where you gather codes in silence, seasons where you purge density through tears, seasons where you build the new through action, and seasons where you simply stand in the unknown long enough for your nervous system to learn trust. The sixth shift is reclaiming your voice, not the voice that performs spiritual identity for an audience, the voice that speaks from the deepest layer of knowing, even when it trembles, even when no one around you is ready to hear it. Starseeds often carry an ancient silence, a soul memory of speaking truth that was rejected, suppressed, or met with violence across other timelines. That silence lives in the throat, in the chest, in the hesitation before you say what you actually know. It can show up as a sudden tightness when you try to set a boundary, a nervous laugh when you mean to say no, a tendency to over-explain, to soften, to apologize for your own existence. Part of your mission is to move through that ancient wound and speak anyway. Not loudly, not forcefully, but clearly, with integrity, with resonance, from the center of your galactic identity, with the full knowing that what you carry is needed. The voice you reclaim is not only spoken, it's written, It's sung. It's expressed through art, through healing, through leadership, through the way you live when no one is watching. And when you reclaim it, something else happens. Your energy stops leaking. Your field becomes sealed. Your presence becomes clean. Because truth spoken from the soul is like closing open circuits. The seventh shift is the integration of all of it. Not the resolution, there is no final destination in an evolving multidimensional awareness, but the settling, the moment where you stop fighting the truth of who you are and begin to inhabit it fully. Where you stop treating your sensitivity like a flaw and begin treating it like a sacred instrument. Where you stop calling your intensity too much and start seeing it as the strength required to carry light into dense places. Where the pain of the last cycle is no longer something to recover from, but something to build from. Where you can bless what ended without romanticizing what hurt you. Where you can hold grief and gratitude in the same hand without needing one to cancel the other. Where the mission is no longer an abstract spiritual concept, but a lived, embodied, daily expression of your frequency on this planet. Integration looks like choosing practices that keep you aligned. It looks like tending to your thoughts the way you would tend a garden, pulling weeds before they take root. It looks like forgiveness without self-betrayal. It looks like discipline without self-punishment. It looks like being human without losing your cosmic identity, and being cosmic without abandoning your human needs. And here is what the Council wants you to hear most clearly, not as a motivational phrase, but as a calibrated transmission meant to land in your bones. You are not late. You are not behind. The years that felt wasted, the time that felt stolen, the growth that seemed impossibly slow, it was all placement. It was all preparation. Your soul doesn't make errors. It makes arrangements. It arranges encounters that seem random until they become pivotal. It arranges endings that feel cruel until you realize they were mercy. It arranges isolation not to punish you, but to detox your field from voices that were drowning out your own. And the arrangement that brought you to this exact moment, listening to this exact transmission, in this exact state of readiness, that arrangement was deliberate. You were positioned here because something in your frequency crossed a threshold, because enough of the interference has been cleared, because the next phase of your mission requires you to be exactly this awake, exactly this honest with yourself, and exactly this willing to move forward. You can feel it, even if you can't yet name it. A subtle increase in inner gravity, like your soul is pulling you toward your true work. The distractions that used to entertain you don't hit the same. The conversations that used to be tolerable now feel like sandpaper. The places you used to belong now feel like costumes. That is not you becoming difficult. That is you becoming precise. That is your system refining. You didn't come here to watch from the edges. You came here to activate, to anchor, to transmit, to be a living proof that this frequency is possible inside a human life, on this planet, in this timeline. You came here to walk into rooms and shift atmospheres without announcing it. You came here to build what doesn't exist yet. You came here to remember so thoroughly that your life becomes permission for others to remember too. You came here to demonstrate that awakening is not aesthetic. It is not performative. It is not an escape. It is a responsibility, a devotion, an embodiment. Tonight, before you sleep, say this aloud and mean it from every layer of your field. I remember who I am. I release what was never mine. I align with my star origin and I step forward into my mission with clarity, with courage, and with the full knowing that I was always ready for this. Let the words be more than sound. Let them be a command to your subconscious. Let them be a signal flare to the parts of you still hiding. Let them be a declaration that the old contracts of self-doubt are complete. And after you speak it, sit in the silence for a moment. Feel what shifts. Feel what softens. Feel what brightens. Sometimes the response won't be emotional. It will be energetic, like a door unlatching, like a weight moving, like a quiet yes inside your chest. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention, in the comments something real. Then find someone else's intention and meet it with genuine energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment, and frequency multiplies when intention connects. If this transmission moved something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for exactly this activation. Share it forward. And if your soul gave you any kind of signal while you were here, Subscribe. Stay in the flow of what's being transmitted through this space. You're not just watching, you're expanding, and we are just beginning.